It's been quite the interesting season for Real Madrid. And
that's one way to say it.
That's one way to say it. I'm trying to be nice because it's definitely not a good thing. From Cristiano Ronaldo being eternally unhappy there, I suppose we could say, Karim Benzema becoming public enemy #1, and Gareth Bale with his injury issues and playing time and all of that. We're hearing, Ale, that we could see a complete overhaul of the BBC for an NHL. Neymar, Hazard, and Lewandowski. Now, this sounds crazy, but we know Real Madrid have the power to pull off something like this. Do you see? Is it feasible?
All at the same time? No. How do you work out the numbers? How do you work out the contracts? How do you manage people exiting the club and people coming into the club? I don't see it happening right away.
Do they need an overhaul this week?
What I do see is that as we have this conversation, Real Madrid are 19 points behind Barcelona. So when that's happening, then yes, there is a need for change, and a change that I think may just include Zinedine Zidane. If they don't get past PSG in Champions League, that's something that may come into the discussion. And then you have to overhaul the roster as well. This is a roster that won back-to-back Champions League, and yet right now they're incapable of getting any sort of result with any sort of consistency. And so, yes, there will be changes because this is the reality of a club like Real Madrid. You're not winning when you're supposed to be winning, you're not meeting the expectations that you're supposed to be meeting, then what happens is that changes are made. And those are going to be major changes. The situation about Cristiano Ronaldo, it feels like we have this conversation every year.
Because he's unhappy every year.
Yeah, and it's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence that he is unhappy when he's only scored 4 La Liga goals and the team is not doing well. And so instead of focusing on the fact that he's not playing very well, we're going to focus on the fact that, well, he's unhappy, he wants to leave Real Madrid, and how does that conversation change the dynamic of actually discussing the fact that his performances have not been good enough on the field. And that's a lot of what's happening around Real Madrid. That Florentino Perez may be floating the idea of there may be overhaul, and there may be changes. That shifts the focus as to what the future may hold to Real Madrid, rather than focusing on what we have seen so far. And what we have seen so far is simply not good enough.
Not good enough at all. I think there was a stat that weekend that Real Madrid are actually further away from Barcelona than they are from the relegation zone. So
that's not good.
That is not good at all. That is not the Real Madrid that we know. So something needs to be done. We'll see if this BBC for NHL does indeed happen.
Wow.